There's someone out there killing the video game industry, and that person is you. Hello, Internet. Welcome to Game Theory, the show that choosy moms choose, along with Jif. Creamy, obviously. Last time, I gave Nintendo a hard time by saying the Wii U's rushed, expensive, poorly integrated tablet controller was hurting the company's financial performance, and that even though the system sold better than the ill-fated Virtual Boy, its severe underperformance was like history repeating itself. I placed the blame on Nintendo, saying they hadn't learned from their past mistakes, but honestly, they're not the root of the problem. The hard truth is, us gamers, we're a bunch of liars. Nerdy little liars. So what am I talking about? Well, go to any gaming website and there will be article after article, forum post after forum post, bemoaning the lack of innovation in video games nowadays. The video game industry must innovate if it wants to survive. Gamers want innovation. Valve, frustrated by lack of innovation. GameStop blames console decline on lack of innovation. Call of Duty, like some anti-Christ of game creativity, is always the one getting blamed for this supposed stagnation of video games, as every other company sees the franchise's success and pushes towards the FPS middle ground. Games like Dead Space and Resident Evil abandon their survival horror genre in an attempt to claim their piece of the pie. Uninspired yearly sequels hit the store shelves for shameless cash-ins, and all the while we lament on the Twitters and the Tamblegrams that we want something new, something different, something innovative. Well, stop it. You don't know what you want, and your lack of self-awareness is single-handedly killing Nintendo. Quite frankly, gamers don't want innovation. I know that's hard to believe. How sick are you of seeing the same cookie-cutter sequels on the shelf year in and year out? Judging from the online user reviews on sites like Metacritic and overall discussion surrounding various franchises, I'd say you've had it up to here. Video games at this point are looking more and more like horror franchises, reaching 5th and 6th installments. The number's so high, now that's what I call music is starting to feel threatened. There's only so many times something can be revenged, revelated, or remastered that we're back to playing Tomb Raider. Someone call the AVGN. You would think that in this glut of sequels and subtitles, this seeming recycling plant of ideas, that if we really wanted innovation in our games, sales would decline. But here's a chart tracking the sales of each new Call of Duty. Wow, that is a strong growth curve. But maybe Call of Duty is just a fluke. How about its rival, Battlefield? Nope. Okay, well, how about something that isn't a shooter? Assassin's Creed. 8, 9, and 12 million copies sold across the first year for the first 3 installments. Okay, let's go for broke and try something with even less yearly fluctuation. Madden. Wow, that's a name that's never appeared on this show. Theorists, this is probably a new realm of the gaming world for you, so let me explain. Madden is a game series meant to simulate an activity known as football, in which a prolate spheroid meant to mimic a pig's inflated stomach is tossed from player to player until reaching what is known as the end zone. It's a foreign concept, I know. For our scientific purposes, all you need to know is that the franchise's yearly release is often equated to a glorified expansion pack of updated team rosters. And yet, look at the sales chart. We see drastic growth there too. If innovation was something we were truly looking for in our games, COD's latest shooting gallery or Madden's yearly pigskin palooza wouldn't see such tremendous growth, and yet they do. But there's a pattern there, right? All these games can be grouped into bro games. These are the people playing innings of Madden. It's innings, right? No? Frames. Frames of Madden? No, that's bowling. Playing touchdowns of Madden in between bouts at the beer pong table. Or at least that's the portrait painted by a large swath of the gaming community. According to them, these aren't the true gamers who grew up on Mario and Zelda and have since come to hail Shadow of the Colossus and Okami as some of gaming's artistic high points. And if that's truly the case, clearly there should be a difference in the buying habits of those gamers Except that there isn't. Here's a chart tracking the sales of major releases in the Super Mario franchise chronologically. The first thing to note here is Mario's declining ability to sell, but let's look at the chart a different way. Let's clear away the 3DS and Wii U games, since those systems are still new and the sales numbers for those games are still coming in. And instead, let's order the games from highest selling to lowest. And see, this is where the pattern really starts to get interesting. See it? Come on, you don't see it? It's an exact replica of my road trip from Ohio to California flipped over the vertical axis. Duh. Incredible, right? Oh, I suppose you wanted me to point out something related to the Mario games, huh? Look at the games at the top of the chart. Super Mario Bros., New Super Mario Bros., New Super Mario Bros., Super Mario World, Super Mario Land, Super Mario Bros. 3. What do they all have in common? I mean, outside of having Super Mario in the title, they're all 2D Mario platformers, a formula as old as the first game. Now look at the ones on the bottom of the list. Galaxy, Galaxy 2, Yoshi's Island, and Sunshine. What do they have in common? They're all games that were praised for being new, fresh, innovative, entries in the series that clearly break from the typical Mario formula, and apparently despite all that praise, they're games that, relative to their more formulaic counterparts, couldn't sell. But it's not just on a games level either. Look at the GameCube, which is perhaps the greatest system for innovation. Apart from eco-friendly Mario, you also have Metroid Prime, Zelda Wind Waker, Resident Evil 4, games hailed as some of the best in their franchises, ones that bravely broke the boundaries of what their respective franchises stood for. And that's not even mentioning the innovative new IP on the system. Animal Crossing, Pikmin, Beyond Good and Evil, Eternal Darkness. Amazing, cutting-edge games that were trying new things. And what actually sold on the system? Melee and Mario Kart. Nothing even came close. And the GameCube quickly became Nintendo's worst performing console. Well, with two exceptions, which shall remain nameless. But not faceless. Show them up on the screen, Ronnie. I don't care if you're loyal to Mario or Sonic, Master Chief or Soap. The fact of the matter is, innovative games just don't sell. List off the top of your head some of gaming's most critically acclaimed titles. Games that have shaped the industry. One that comes to my mind? Portal. 8 million copies sold. If you add up both Portal 1 and Portal 2. Not bad. BioShock is another one. 4 million. BioShock Infinite. Another 4 million. Half-Life 2. 12 million since 2004. Now, don't get me wrong, 1 million of anything is a ton. Take it from me, a 1 million subscriber channel. Humble brag. By the way, thanks guys. And those numbers I just listed off are significant sales numbers, but compare Portal's 8 million sold or Half-Life's 12 million sold to the sales figures for the 8th installment in the Mario Party franchise. It sold 8 million copies. And that puts these numbers in perspective. And the kicker is that these games are the better performing ones. What about the Okamis, No More Heroes, and Psychonauts of the world? The Dreamcast. Here's a sobering figure. Legend of Zelda Wind Waker, for all the praise heaped upon it, receiving perfect scores from gaming magazines, sold 3 million copies. 3 million. Ocarina of Time sold 7.6 million. Sorry, in case you forgot, Mario Party 8, 8 million. Ocarina of Time, 7.6. Must not have had a water temple minigame in Mario Party, huh? Then what about those so-called dumbed-down games? The games accused of selling out. Well, they are selling out. On store shelves. Look at Resident Evil, a series that's received a lot of flack for abandoning its survival horror roots and becoming more of an action thriller. Sales have been staying steady. Final Fantasy XIII, a game considered one of the weakest in the series for removing player choice, it's the 4th best-selling of the franchise, crushing the sales of Final Fantasy III and Final Fantasy VI combined. You see, that's a joke because they're technically the same game. Anyway. Any way you look at it, the data is overwhelming. Sequels with increased sales, new IPs with decreased ones. Games that break their molds don't sell, but ones that fall into established formulas do. For as much as we'd like to deny it, budget spent and creative risk taken are usually inversely proportional, meaning a bigger budget means less creative risk, and the numbers prove that that's the smart choice. Why waste money reinventing the wheel when releasing the same wheel with a new paint job just will get you more? more. Which brings us all the way back around to the original issue of the Nintendo and the Wii U. What I love about Nintendo is that they're willing to take risks, push gaming in directions no one's considered. They understand the fine balance between innovation and shameless money grabs. For every Pikmin, there needs to be a brawl to fund it. For every Wii U, there's a handheld that will deflect the losses. While other systems compete for the graphics to cram more arm hairs onto every NPC character, Nintendo questions the fundamental issue of how we control our games. It's a huge risk, and when it doesn't work, it fails spectacularly. And in their push for innovation, they sometimes strike it big. Take, for instance, the U-less Wii. The thing made more money than you could shove into a giant's wallet, and the motion control idea completely changed the face of gaming forever. So, what is the secret? What works and what doesn't? Well, in part 3 of this What Gamers Want trilogy, we seek to find the answer and instead find Flappy Bird. So until then, I leave you with this. Try something new. You just might like it. But hey, that's just a theory. A game theory. Thanks for watching. Did you like the episode? Well, then you have one person to thank. Actually, a conglomeration of people. Hulu Plus. Now wait, before you click off saying that this is some sort of lame advertisement, let me explain. Thanks to Hulu Plus supporting this one video, it's helped me bring my editor Ronnie on full time. Say hi, Ronnie.
No.
And that translates to more game theory for you. Not too shabby. So all I would ask from you is that you help me thank them for believing in the show by clicking the link in the description or typing this address into your search bar and signing up for a free trial of All You Can Binge TV. It's free and it shows them that, hey, this MatPat guy is pretty cool and has a great fan base. And seriously, I wouldn't do this for a company I didn't believe in. If you can't tell from watching the show, I love me some TV. And Hulu Plus has some of my favorite shows to binge on, like Community, which, if you haven't seen it, it's incredible. I watch it before going to bed every night. Favorite episode? Advanced Dungeons and Dragons. Also on Hulu Plus, you can relive the glory days of Toonami with Dragon Ball Z. There's even Pokemon. In short, click the link in the description. Get some free TV out of it, all while helping me, Ronnie, and Game Theory. And seriously, guys, thank you for that support. I wouldn't normally do something like this, but it seems like a good deal all around, so why not? Now go show them that the theorists are the best fans around.